students, I welcome you all to today's lesson about the tissue system. All living organisms, whether unicellular or multicellular, are capable of performing all vital functions such as respiration, ingestion, excretion and reproduction. In multicellular organisms, because of the increase in body size, it is difficult for each cell to efficiently cope with the vast variety of the physiological needs of the organism. So, cells group together to perform definite functions. All the activities like movement, growth, etc. are the result of the cells of the body. So, the cells are the fundamental units of life. Cells are arranged into tissues and tissues are arranged into tissue systems. Regardless of the form, each organ is composed of different types of tissues. There are different types of tissues in plants and animals, as both these categories of organisms vary to a great extent in behavior, structure and functions. These tissues can be simple tissues, that is, consisting of only one type of cells, or complex tissues, that is, consisting of more than one type of cells. Animals possess different systems to perform different physiological functions. For example, blood vascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, reproductive system, etc. The plants also have organized systems to perform common functions. These systems are called tissue systems. A tissue system may be defined as a group of tissues which perform the same general function irrespective of their position or continuity in the plant body. These tissues in a system may have no structural or morphological similarity and may also differ in their origin. If we talk about the tissue system in plants, there are three types of tissue systems in plants, depending on their location in the plant body. These three types are epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. So, the plant body is made up of different kinds of tissue systems. Let us discuss these different types in detail.
Tissue system. On the basis of morphological characters, development and functions, Sachs in 1875 distinguished three tissue systems in plants. If we view a section through any region of a typical plant body, we can see the presence of three tissue systems. These three types are epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, vascular tissue system. Let us discuss these tissue systems one by one. The epidermal tissue system is a derivative of protoderm. It originates from the outermost layer of apical meristem. It forms the outermost covering of the whole plant body and comprises of epidermal cells, stomata, cuticle, and the epidermal appendages, the trichomes and hairs. Let us study these different structures one by one. Epidermis. The epidermis is the outermost covering of the plant body. It is commonly described as the skin of the plant body. It is usually represented by a single layer of compactly arranged barrel-shaped parenchyma cells. The cells vary in shape and size. They are arranged to form a continuous layer interrupted only by stomata.
Students, in the stem and the leaf, the epidermal cells are thick-walled and are meant for protection. In the roots, the epidermal cells are thin-walled. Since they are involved in the absorption of water and mineral salts. Hence, the epidermis of root is described as epiblemma or piliferous layer. In the leaf, epidermal cells line both the upper and lower surface of the leaf. In some plants or parts of plants, epidermal cells get differentiated. For example, in aerial roots, a multiple layered epidermis is formed, which is either tough or spongy and is modified into velamen, which absorbs water from atmosphere. Sometimes, some epidermal cells in the leaves of grasses are comparatively very large. These are called bulliform or motor cells. They play an important role in folding and unfolding of leaves. Gramini ਅਤੇ Cypressae family ਦੇ ਕੁਝ members ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਦੋ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ epidermal cells ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ, long cells ਅਤੇ short cells. Stem ਅਤੇ leaf ਦੀ epidermis ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ covering ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ cuticle ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਘਿਰੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ cuticle ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ.
Cuticle. The epidermis of the stem and the leaf is usually covered by a waxy coating called the cuticle. It is formed of fatty substance cutin. Cuticle prevents excessive loss of water. Cuticle is absent in roots. Stomata. The epidermis of leaves and herbaceous stems contains numerous minute openings called stomata. These are small openings scattered throughout the epidermis. Each stoma is composed of bean-shaped cells known as guard cells, which enclose a stomatal pore. The guard cells contain chloroplasts. These guard cells have thinner outer walls and thicker inner walls. Certain plants have additional cells arranged around their stomatal cells, which are referred to as subsidiary cells. They act to assist or protect the stomatal cells. Stomata are openings on the surface of leaves through which gaseous exchange takes place. Stomata also regulate the rate of transpiration. The main function is to allow gaseous exchange.
Students, ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ plant species ਅਤੇ environmental conditions ਦੇ ਨਾਲ stomata ਦਾ size ਅਤੇ shape ਵੀ ਭਿੰਨ-ਭਿੰਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਲਈ, grasses have guard cells that resemble slender dumbbells, whereas trees and shrubs have guard cells that are kidney-shaped. Stomata are found on all the aerial parts of plants, including the petioles of leaves and soft herbaceous stems. They are formed during the initial stages of the development of these various plant structures and therefore reflect the environmental conditions under which they grow. The epidermal tissue system also consists of trichomes. Let us know more about trichomes.
Trichomes are epidermal outgrowths of various kinds. They are epidermal extensions present temporarily or permanently on almost all plant parts. They aid in reducing water loss through transpiration. They can also alter heat loss from a plant and helps in storage and secretion of secondary metabolites. Root hairs. A root hair is a tubular outgrowth of root epidermal cells of vascular plants. They are found only in the region of maturation of the root. Root hairs are usually one cell thick and therefore very fragile. Root hairs aid in water and mineral absorption. They also hold the soil particles and play an important role in anchoring the plant.
So, this was the epidermal tissue system. The epidermal tissue system is very important for plants to survive. The epidermal tissue system forms a covering over all the plant parts and therefore provides protection to the underlying tissues. It performs several other functions. Let us review the functions of epidermal tissue system. Epidermal tissue system helps in the reduction of surface area for transpiration due to presence of cuticle. Gaseous exchange occurs through stomata and lenticels present in the epidermis. The water vesicles or bladders help in storage of water. The glandular trichomes secrete products which perform various functions. The epidermis forms phelogen by induction of meristematic activity. It helps in healing of wounds. So, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸੀ epidermal tissue system ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ। ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ second tissue system ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ground tissue system ਹੈ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਾਂਗੇ। Ground tissue system includes all the tissues of a plant body except epidermis and vascular bundles. It forms the bulk of body and mainly consists of parenchymatous, collenchymatous, sclerenchymatous, glandular and lenticephorous tissues. Let us know more about the ground tissue system. It is represented by the different regions in the plant body that are mainly involved in storage. In the cylindrical parts of the plant body, such as root and stem, the ground tissue becomes differentiated into various regions. In a typical condition, different regions can be recognized in the ground tissue. These are cortex, hypodermis, endodermis, pericycle, medullary rays and pith. Let us study all these parts one by one.
Cortex. Cortex is the region between the epidermis and the endodermis. It forms a major part of the ground tissue and is represented by many layers of loosely arranged parenchyma cells. Intercellular spaces are prominent. Morphologically, this region consists of special parenchymatous cells. Main functions of cortex are storage of water and reserve foods to provide turgidity to the plant body, lateral transport of minerals and organic solutes and water, to provide mechanical support. In many woody plants, cortex gives rise to cork cambium. The next region is hypodermis. Hypodermis is a region that is found immediately below the epidermis in the stem. It is made up of a few layers of either collenchymatous, chlorenchymatous, or sclerenchymatous cells as in dicot stem, or sclerenchyma cells as in monocot stem. Hypodermis is meant for providing additional protection and mechanical support. Another region of the ground tissue is endodermis. Endodermis is the innermost layer of cortex, represented by a single layer of compactly arranged barrel-shaped parenchyma cells. The cells of endodermis are elongated and are without intercellular spaces. Some of the cells in the root endodermis contain secondary thickenings called Casparian thickenings, formed by a waxy substance called suberin. In the stem, it is meant for storage. In the root, it plays an important role in the movement of absorbed water. Another region is pericycle. Pericycle is a region that lies immediately below the endodermis. In the stem, it is represented by a few layers of sclerenchyma cells, while in the root, it is represented by a single layer of parenchyma cells. Medullary rays. Medullary rays are represented by parenchyma cells that are found in between the vascular tissues. So these are made up of parenchymatous cells and extend from the pith towards the periphery. They serve the function of lateral transport and storage of food and water. Pith is the innermost part of the stem or root representing the axis. It is formed by loosely arranged parenchyma cells with prominent intercellular spaces.
Students, the pith is another major storage organ in the plant body. The pericycle, the medullary rays, and the pith, along with the vascular tissues, together represent a region which is known as stele or central cylinder. When a distinct stele is present, the condition is described as eustele. When stele is absent or cannot be distinguished, the condition is described as atectostele. So students, I think now the types of ground tissues present in roots and stem are clear to you. If we talk about the ground tissue system in leaves, it is represented by mesophyll. Mesophyll is mainly involved in photosynthesis, as the cells are thin-walled and contain chloroplasts. So students, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੋ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮਸ ਭਾਵ ਐਪੀਡਰਮਲ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਅਤੇ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਹੈ। ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਥਰਡ ਟਾਈਪ ਦੇ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਵਸਕੂਲਰ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ। The vascular tissue system is a derivative of procambium. It is represented by the conducting tissues known as xylem and phloem. These vascular tissues occur in the form of strands extending from one end of the plant body to another. These strands are known as vascular bundles. The main functions of vascular tissues are conduction of water and minerals, translocation of organic solutes, to give mechanical support to the plant body.
Xylem transports water and minerals from root to shoot, and phloem transports nutrients such as sugar and amino acids from leaves and other production sites to roots, flowers, stems, and other tissues that need them. The vascular bundles may sometimes enclose a piece of meristematic tissue called cambium, which brings about secondary growth in the bundles. When cambium is present, the vascular bundle is described as open vascular bundle, and when the cambium is absent, the vascular bundle is described as closed vascular bundle. A vascular bundle may contain either only xylem or only phloem, or both xylem and phloem. Accordingly, based on the relative position of xylem and phloem, the bundles can be distinguished into different types. The first type is the radial type. When xylem and phloem within a vascular bundle are arranged in an alternate manner on different radii, the arrangement is called radial. Radial vascular bundles are found in roots. Vascular bundles may be conjoint. In conjoint type of vascular bundles, the xylem and phloem are located on the same radius of vascular bundles. Such vascular bundles are common in stems and leaves. The conjoint bundles are further of two types, collateral and bicollateral. A vascular bundle in which the phloem lies towards the outer side and xylem towards the inner side is called collateral, as found in the stem of sunflower plant. In bicollateral type, vascular bundles have phloem strands on both the outer and the inner side of xylem, as found in the stem of cucurbita. The conjoint bundles are characteristic features of the leaf and the stem.
Students, there is another type of vascular bundle which is known as concentric bundle. In concentric bundle, xylem and phloem occur in the same bundle surrounding each other. When the bundle has xylem in the center surrounded by phloem, the concentric bundle is described as amphicribal, as in ferns. When phloem is in the center surrounded by xylem, the concentric bundle is described as amphivasal. For example, Dracaena and Euca. Students, in xylem, the protoxylem and metaxylem vessels exhibit characteristic orientation with reference to the central axis. On this basis, three types of arrangements can be recognized in the xylem. These types are exarch, endarch, and mesarch. In exarch type, the protoxylem lies towards periphery and metaxylem towards center. In endarch type, the protoxylem lies towards center and metaxylem towards periphery. In mesarch type, the protoxylem remains surrounded on all the sides by metaxylem. Students, we have learnt enough about the tissue system in plants. Now, with the help of a table, let us summarize all that we have studied.
The first type of tissue system is epidermal tissue system. Main functions of this type of tissue system are protection and prevention of excessive water loss. The epidermal tissue system consists of different structures like epidermis, cuticle, stomata, trichomes, and hair. Epidermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of different parts of the plant that remains in direct contact with the environment as shown here in the leaf, stem and the roots. The second type of tissue system is the ground tissue system. Its main functions are photosynthesis, food storage, support and protection. This tissue system forms the bulk of the body and mainly includes the middle region. Third type of tissue system is known as the vascular tissue system. Its main functions are transport of water and minerals and transport of food. It is represented by the conducting tissues known as xylem and phloem. Here you can see the position of the vascular tissue.
Well students, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ। ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਅੰਤ ਤੇ ਪੁੱਜ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ। So, let us summarize what we have learned so far. Tissue system may be defined as a group of tissues which perform the same general function irrespective of their position or continuity in the plant body. Sachs in 1875 distinguished three tissue systems in plants, namely epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. The epidermal tissue system consists of the different structures. These are epidermis, cuticle, stomata, trichomes and hair. Main functions of epidermal tissue system are protection and prevention of excessive water loss. Ground tissue system consists of different regions. These are cortex, hypodermis, endodermis, pericycle, medullary rays and pith. The vascular tissue system is a derivative of procambium. It is represented by the conducting tissues known as xylem and phloem. So students, enough for today. चलो हुण एक टेस्ट लेके चेक कर लईए कि तुसी किन्ना कु सिखिया है. Be attentive. Here are some questions. First question. What is a tissue system? Answer. A tissue system may be defined as a group of tissues which perform the same general function irrespective of their position or continuity in the plant body. Next question. Name the three basic tissue systems in the flowering plants. Answer. Sachs in 1875 distinguished three tissue systems in plant, namely epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. The next question is, what is the function of stomata? The answer is, stomata help in gaseous exchange. Stomata also regulate the rate of transpiration. My next question is, name the different regions of ground tissue system. The answer is, different regions of ground tissue system are cortex, hypodermis, endodermis, pericycle, medullary rays and pith. Next question. What are the main functions of vascular tissue? Answer. Main functions of vascular tissues are conduction of water and minerals, translocation of organic solutes, to give mechanical support to the plant body. The next question. Describe conjoint type of vascular bundles. Answer. In conjoint type of vascular bundles, both xylem and phloem are present together. Normally, the xylem and phloem occur on the same radius. Such vascular bundles are common in stem and leaves. Hope I have made a successful attempt to clear the concepts regarding the tissue system, which will help you in fetching good marks in the exam. Thanks for your cooperation and attention. Looking forward to the next class. See you then. Thanks.